Good morning dear students, welcome once again. This time we are going to start our session with Geography, chapter number 2 for class 8. The name of the chapter is Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. As you see the name of the chapter, we are going to discuss one by one all these things in detail. First we will discuss land. Then we will discuss soil, then we will discuss water, then natural vegetation and then at last but not the least wildlife resources. This was the brief summary about the chapter. Now let's begin our session with the chapter land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. First, land. Let's try to understand what kind of natural resource this land is. It is a natural resource. Land. If I am going to talk about the land, it is one of the most important natural resource. Yes, it is one of the most important natural resource. Clear? It covers about 30% of the total area of the earth's surface. 30% of the total area of the earth's surface is covered with land. 70% whereas is covered with water. From the very beginning you are reading 30% comprises of land and 70% of water constitutes the whole earth's surface. However, all parts are not habitable. Mind you, in every part of the land people are not residing just because of some of the unavailability of important resources that are required for man. Because those important resources are not available at every part of the land on every area, that's why all parts are not habitable. Always remember, some parts are habitable, some parts have human beings, some of the lands are still barren. That means no people are living over there because of unavailability of specific, or you can say better facility. Okay, clear? Now, the reason behind the uneven distribution of population in different parts is due to land and climate. These are the two factors, mind you, land and climate, dear students. Land and climate are the two things based on which there is an uneven distribution of populations. Somewhere people are living in large numbers, somewhere people are living in small numbers. Why? Just because of two factors. Number one is land and another one is climate. Okay, because of these two factors, people or population is unevenly distributed. Unevenly distributed means somewhere people are living less in number, somewhere people are living in large number. Okay, areas which are sparsely populated, these are some of the areas which are sparsely populated. What is the meaning of sparsely populated? Very thinly populated, less number of people are there. Okay, sparsely populated, that means thinly populated. Thinly means very less number of people are residing. As for example, steep slopes. Wherever, suppose if there is a mountain, wherever there is a slanting of the mountain, that means steep slope is there. Those areas are not habitable generally by the people. Okay, so steep slopes are the areas where people are residing in less in number. Okay, moreover on mountains also, because on mountains there is unavailability of water, or they are not finding suitable climate or something, because of which people are generally not found on mountains. As well as in deserts, because of unavailability of water, or you can say by other means because of unfavorable climate also, people residing in deserts are less in number. Okay, clear? So these are some of the areas where people are not ready, or they are not residing generally in steep slopes, mountains, deserts. These are the areas. Now areas that are thickly populated, densely populated, I can say, areas which are densely populated are plains, right? On plains and river valleys along the side of the river. Okay, those areas are thickly populated because there they get the facility of doing agriculture. Availability of water is there, favorable climate is there. So because of these factors, because of these things, people somewhere are residing and somewhere they are not residing. Okay, that's why population is unevenly distributed. Clear? About the land facts, it has been given. Okay, now moving on to the next part. Land use. What do you mean by the term land use? All the activities that man does, like agriculture, forestry, mining and other stuff. The different purpose such as agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, setting up industries for which land is used is known as land use. Very simple it is. If we are occupying the land, if we are using the land for certain activities like forestry, mining, building houses, setting up industries, then we used to call it land use. So the different purpose for which land is used, different purposes for which land is used is known as land use. As for example, mining, forestry, fishing, something. Okay, clear? Now let's move on to the next part. Factors that determine land use. Now we are using the land, okay, just for building up houses, just for setting up industries and other stuff. But what are the factors that determine? What are the factors that determine the land use? What are the factors? These are the factors that determine land use, whether the land will be used or not. First one is topography. What is the meaning of topography? That means the feature of the land. The word topography means feature of the land. Whether we are using mountain, whether we are using plain, whether we are using plateau, whether we are using valley, that means the feature of the land is known as topography. Clear? Another factor is soil. What kind of soil it is? Either it is acidic soil, either it will be basic soil, either it will be fertile soil, either it will be infertile soil. So based on the factor of soil also, people used to decide whether they are going to reside over there or not. Apart from that, climate, from in the very beginning also, land use is determined by two factors, climate and land, right? Land and climate only they have told at earlier. Now these are the factors, right? Climate. If the climate is favorable, suppose if you are getting too much cold in winter and too much hot in summer, those areas are sparsely populated, right? Now if the climate is favorable, suppose if you are getting warmth during winter and you are getting cool climate during summer, that will become densely populated. Too much people will reside over here. Clear? So that's why based on these factors we determine the land use. Availability of water, this is also a factor. Wherever water is available in too much amount, there people resides in too large numbers. Wherever there is no availability of water, people generally do not prefer to stay in those areas. Next thing is minerals, availability of minerals. It is also a resource, right? Wherever there is availability of minerals, people usually get resource in the form of minerals. Moreover, they will get employment, industries set up in that area, or you can say factories got set up in that area. So people gets a favorable climate of getting an employment, right? So these are the factors that determine the land use, whether the land will be used or not. What are the factors for that? These are the factors. Clear? Now, land division, an important part there. Land division. Land, how the land is divided. What is the basis on which land is divided? The land division is done on two bases, on two categories, private and community. Suppose if the question will be asked, what is the basis on which land division is done? It is done on the basis of two factors, private and community. What is a private land? Land which is owned by an individual, one person, okay, owned, bought, okay. So the land which are being owned by one individual, one person is known as private land. What is the community land? The land which is owned by group of individual, group of person, okay, or community is known as community land. In community land, generally collection of fodder means foods, collection of fodder, fruits, medicinal herbs, these kinds of activities are being done in community land, right? We know that community land does not belong to one person, it belongs to group of person or to a community, okay. So it is being used for the collection of fodder, fruits, medicinal herbs and for other factors. Clear? This is the basis on which land division takes place. Land division is being done. One interesting thing you also know, but we will not imply it. But if you think about that, it's a crucial problem. Population is increasing. Yes, it is increasing at steady rate, at normal rate, at higher pace. But land is limited. Why I have written this line? Just to make you sure that population, that means human resource, is increasing day by day, but land is limited dear. Land resource is not increasing. Whatever the area we have, it remains constant. So population is increasing, population on the land is increasing day by day, but this resource of land is limited. It is not increasing day by day, moreover it is not increasing, okay. So this is an area of concern to be thought about, that this thing is not increasing but this thing is increasing, so it may cause a great crisis in the coming future. Many constructional activities going on leading to land degradation. Various constructional activities like construction of your houses, construction of dams, construction of canals, construction of other things are going on. So these constructional activities is going to do one thing, and that is land degradation. What is the meaning of degradation? Ruined, R-U-I-N, ruined. Okay, it causes ill effects. Okay. So these constructional activities are going to cause land degradation. Clear? Landslide is also caused, right? Desertification, right? Which are threats to environment, which are dangerous to environment, which really affects the environment. Right? Clear? That means I want to say that constructional activities is going to degrade the land. It causes landslides also. Landslide, when one part of land gets slided upon. Okay. It causes havoc. Desertification, when areas become barren, sands everywhere. Right? These are threats to the environment. These are causing danger to the environment. Okay. This is all about the land. Now note down the homework for the land part. These are the homeworks which are to be given to you. What is land use? First question. Another question is, what is the basis on which land division is done? You have to explain. Clear? These are two questions which you need to do in homework copy. So kindly do it. What is land use and what is the basis on which land division is done? Kindly explain. After land, if you go through the chapter name, there is soil, land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources, right? So, have you noted it down? Note it fast here. Now, Coming on to the another part, it's soil. If the question will be asked, what do you mean by the term soil, or what is soil? The grainy substance covering surface of the earth. Grainy substance, small substance, very minute particles, right? These are looking like grains. From the very beginning, you know the meaning of grains. Small particles, pebbles, right? So the grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is known as soil, and it is made up of organic matter, minerals and weathered rocks. If the question will be asked, what is soil and of what material it is being made of? You can simply say the grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is known as soil. And of what material it is made up of? It is made up of organic matter, minerals and weathered rocks. Organic matter. What is the meaning of organic matter? That means the dead remains of plants and animals. When plants and animal dies, their parts get decomposed. Small parts, decomposed parts are from organic matter. Okay, clear? So sand is made up of organic matter, number one. Number two is minerals. Various mineral constituents of soil are there, like silicon, phosphorus, magnesium, iron. Okay, various things are there. Too many minerals you might have learnt about in science, right? So soil is made up of organic matter, number one. Number two, minerals, and number three is weathered rocks. Weathered rocks means rocks gets broken down into small fragments, gets changed into different texture, color and something, right? So weathered rocks, broken pieces of rocks. Okay, if we break the rocks into smaller fragments, into smaller pieces, we will get finally the soil. Right? From the very beginning you are learning about this. It's an interesting chapter. Land, soil. We have discussed land, now we are in the soil part. Right? Let's move on with the next part. Factors affecting the soil formation. These are some of the factors that affect the soil formation, mind you. Soil is formed. Now what are the factors that affect the soil formation? 5 factors are there which affects the soil formation there. Number 1, parent rock. That means the quality of the soil depends on parent rock, from the rocks from which it is being made or the grainy substance came from, right? That's why parent rock, on the condition, on the quality of the parent rock, the soil's color, texture are being determined, right? If the parent rock is very darker, then the soil or soil granules that are formed from the rock will be darker in color, as for example, right? So it is the parent rock that determines the color, texture of the soil. First factor is parent rock. How? It determines the color and texture of the soil, right? Texture means what kind of grainy material, whether it is thick, whether it is thin, whether it is smaller, whether it is bigger, like that only. Texture, okay? Physical appearance. Now another factor is relief. What do you mean by the term relief? That means the relief will determine the altitude and slope, determines accumulation. Okay? Here, if the soil is being formed, and if I want to know that from which area, from what kind of relief the soil has come, then we got to determine the accumulation of the soil. Accumulation of the soil means whether it will be, soil will be found in heap or in plain form. That means there won't be any heap, there will be a leveled ground. Okay, so it depends on altitude and slope. If the land will be sloped, there won't be too much accumulation over the soil. It slides down. Okay, in the slope we don't get too much accumulation of the soil, whereas at high altitudes also we can't get too much accumulation of the soil. But at the different areas like plain and other areas, we get the accumulation or heaps of the soil. There the soil is found in lump and in great depth, or you can say in thickness, thick materials. Okay, right? Third factor is flora, fauna and microorganism. This is also a factor that affects the formation of the soil. How? It affects the rate of humus formation. How much humus content is there in the soil? It will be depending on the flora, fauna and the microorganism. How much flora? Flora means plant life. Fauna, animal life. Microorganisms, small organisms which are living on the land, right? Which can't be seen with the naked eyes. You have heard about it. So what do these things determine? These determine the content of the humus or humus content of the soil. Clear? How much humus will be there? The more the humus will be there, it is good for the growth of the plants. The more the humus, the less the humus will be there, it won't be very good for the soil, for the plants, right? You have learned it in science also. So how much humus content is there in the soil? It will be depending on this factor, flora, fauna and microorganism. Another factor is climate, right? It is also a factor that affects the soil formation, because it is the climate that determines whether there will be weathering of the rocks take place or not at that climate. Under heat and pressure, rocks get weathered up, right? So depending on climate also, the soil formation will be affected. If there will be too much heat, pressure, obviously rocks gets weathered during slow process of time. Okay, with the passage of time, the rocks get weathered and soils are being formed. But if the temperature, pressure are low, it takes more time, 4 times or 5 times more time for the formation of the soil, right? Now the time, it is also a factor which determines the thickness of the soil, right? The more the time will be spent, the soil will be left undisturbed. There will be more thickness in the soil. And if we keep on continuing working over that land, the thickness of the soil gets depleted or gets lower. Clear? These are the factors which are affecting the soil formation. Clear? Now let's move on to the next part. Degradation of the soil, ruining up of soil. That means how the soil gets affected out. Soil erosion and depletion. These are the two factors here. Soil erosion and depletion. Depletion means lessening, to become less in number. Okay, lessening, eroding, almost the same terms. Okay, erosion, eroding, depletion, lessening, thinning out, cutting out. Soil erosion and depletion, lessening are major threats to soil as a resource. These are two threats, these are two dangers of this resource, soil. Okay, soil erosion and depletion. What is soil erosion? The eroding away of soil or the blowing away of soil, top layer, the fertile part of the layer of soil by wind, water, etc. is known as soil erosion. Mind you, what is soil erosion? The wearing away, the washing away of soil by agents. The top layer of soil, you can see. Okay, top layer is fertile part of soil. You might have read it in science also, that the top part of the soil is fertile. It is very fertile. So we should protect the top part of the soil. So what is soil erosion? The washing away or eroding away of the top part of the soil by the agents like air, water, wind, etc. is known as soil erosion. Clear? And this is causing danger to this resource, one of the important resource, soil, on which, because of which, this is why this is important resource, soil, just because of it is the factor on which our flora life is depending upon completely. That means plants grow because of this factor, because of soil, right? Now, what are the factors that lead to soil degradation? These are some of the factors that lead to soil degradation. Number one is deforestation. The word deforestation means cutting down of forest, cutting down of trees is known as deforestation. Always remember, cutting down of forest is known as deforestation. Now, imagine if we are going to cut down all the trees, then obviously if the wind will come, they are going to take away the soil with them. The fertile part of the soil will be blown away, will be washed away by the water. So deforestation leads to soil degradation. Overgrazing, if there are some grasses on the soil, they protect the top layer of the soil from getting blown away or being washed away. If you make an animal to come and graze over that, and time and again if they are grazing away the grasses, a time will come when the grasses will be no more on the soil. The soil becomes barren or the soil becomes naked, and because of which they were being washed away, blown away by the wind, water and other factors. So this is another factor of soil degradation. Third thing is how the soil degradation is being caused? By overuse of chemical fertilizer and pesticide. These are chemicals, right? So these are the chemicals which are generally responsible for the soil degradation. If you are going to use these chemicals time and again over the soil, then these soil get degraded. Clear? Degrade means to ruin, to get less in quality, or you can say completely withered out. Okay, clear? Rain wash, it is also a factor which causes the soil degradation. Rain wash completely washes up the top layer, the fertile part of the soil, so it causes the soil degradation. Landslide, if the landslide are being caused, obviously the land gets slided upon and it affects the nearby areas, because of which it causes the soil degradation. One part of the land comes over the other, that means the part that goes down will be get affected. Okay, so landslides are also causing soil degradation. And floods, when too much water is there, in Hindi we used to say baad, right? When flood comes, that means it is the same case as the water washes them, the flood also washes the soil away with them. They take away the top fertile part, and because of which there is a degradation in the quality of the soil, or you can say the soil get degraded. So these are the factors based on which soil degradation depends. Okay, clear? Moving on to the next part. Soil conservation, a very important part that we are going to discuss. It is a very, very important topic, mind you. Okay, so try to understand what is soil conservation and what are the different scenarios or what are the different things that we do to preserve the soil. Okay, soil conservation, as the name suggests, conservation. Now earlier, just before, we are reading about those factors that degrade the soil, that takes away the quality of the soil, right? That were the things. But now we are going to read about soil conservation, how we will preserve the soil, how we will conserve the soil, how we will protect the soil. That is the meaning of soil conservation. To protect the soil from getting washed away or being taken away by the wind is known as soil conservation. Clear? To protect the soil from getting washed away or from getting washed away, from getting blown away is known as soil conservation. Right? The first technique of Everybody note it down. The first technique is mulching. What do you mean by the term mulching? What is mulching? The uncovered grounds between plants is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw. In Chhattisgarh, you used to call it something, I haven't remembered what is that, but straw-like materials which are paddy husk which are being eaten by your animals, right? Yes, those things are known as straw. See, the plants are there, in between the plants there are barren grounds or where soil is there. So soil is covered with those straw, these materials, these organic matter called straw. That means uncovered ground particles are covered with an organic matter called straw, which helps the soil not to be blown away by the wind. If we remove the straw and the soil will be there, if the wind will come, it will take away the soil with them, right? But if we cover it with the straw, okay, then if the wind will come, they are not able to take away the soil with them. So this is an important technique, how to conserve the soil, how to prevent the soil from being washed away or being taken away by the water or wind or something like that. This is known as mulching. Contour barrier, it is another technique. See, stone, grass, soil are used to build barriers along contours. Okay, channels are made in front of barriers to collect water. This is the meaning of contour barrier. What happens? See, a man who is working over there, he has covered the part of the land with grass, soil, stones and something. Okay, and he has made a contour. That means he has made a channel. If the water will come, they are not able to take the soil with them. Okay, just because of these barriers that are being made. See, if the water will come into this channel, water is collected over there, it will be washed away in this fashion, it will go in this direction, but it won't take the soil with them in that direction, right? So this is the meaning of contour barrier. That is stone, grass, soil, these are used to build the barrier, okay, along the contours. That means these watery channels, contours, okay. Channels are made, these channels are made in front of barriers to collect water. Water is being collected over here, okay, which can be used for other purposes, but soil will not be taken by washing away of water. This is the meaning of contour barriers. Clear? Now, rock dam. Okay, rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of water. See, piling up of rock, keeping the rock one over the other, stacking up of rocks one over the other is being done by these fellows, so that they can stop the flow of water. Water will not flow down very speedily and can't take away the soil. This prevents the soil loss. This is an example, rock dam. Third example, what is the technique, what is the method of soil conservation? Rock dam. Okay, another method is terrace farming. What do you mean by the term terrace farming? See, this is a terrace. Okay, terraces are being made on slopes or on hillsides. Terraces are developed on the steep slopes, on the slopes of the mountain, right? Terraces are being developed so that flat surfaces are available to grow crops, which help in reducing the soil erosion. Soils are not easily being taken away by running water or by wind because of these slopes, okay, being made. So this is known as terrace farming. Clear? Look at the picture. It will give you too much idea, which helps in reducing the soil erosion. And shelter belts. What do you mean by the term shelter belts? Rows of trees are planted, okay, to check, to prevent, to stop the wind movement, to protect the soil. If the wind will come, it won't take away the soil with them, because these trees are acting as barrier over there, right? So this is the meaning of shelter belts, where rows of trees are planted to check or to stop the wind movement. Okay. This is about soil. Okay, now let's continue on. We are just note down the homework. Homework for the soil part. Okay, homework for the soil part. Only one question is there. What is different? What are, in fact it will be what are. What are different techniques? Okay, what are different techniques? What are different techniques of soil conservation? Explain. What are different techniques of soil conservation? You have to explain. Okay, this is your homework. In our next class we are going to read about water, right? Third resource is water, land, soil, water, after that natural vegetation, and then wildlife resources. Till then, have a nice day, enjoy with your family. Thank you.